Well, for a lot of you, it was fun to be able to see you this last weekend in Chicago. It was great. It was cold. I have a new appreciation for Uggs and thermal underwear. Okay, so that is good. I needed that appreciation. So it was fun to be there. It was good to just refocus, regroup. We were able to have dinner with a bunch of you afterwards, and then Verba took me to the airport. She's a doll that way. Hey, Kate, Michelle is having a hard time getting on the Zoom. Maybe text her and see what happened. So hi, Jennifer Burr and Allison. Hey, guys. Hey, hi. Jennifer Burr had a killer RRP last week. Went to her house. She bought a fixer-upper. When I say fixer-upper, I mean Jesus take the wheel, fixer-upper. And I went to her house, and it was so awesome. She had guests there. They had food, and it was decorated to the hilt, and she did an awesome job. So I will get started. One thing I wanted to share with each and every one of you is put your blinders on and stay focused about U.S. If you do not have Australian business, do not get frazzled. Do not lose heart. There is enough for all of us to go around just here, not even talking across the pond. So keep your blinders on and keep your eyes on the prize. We said that in regional on Saturday, but I wanted to reiterate that. For a few of you that were not there at regional and aren't in Chicago, one thing I shared, I was on the phone last week with another NMD. Can everyone hear me okay? Am I loud enough? We're good? Okay. Thank you, Lily. I was on the phone with another NMD last week, and this NMD had another NMD in her organization go to this conference of women that were indirect sales that had all made $1 million and more. Okay. And this conference had a panel of all of these $1 million earners and above. The constant theme through every single person was stay put, work where you're at. And just so you know, I would say every single one of these $1 million earners all were a part of a company that I would consider antiquated, completely old and past their perk or their peak, I guess would be the best way of saying it. And they just said they stayed put and they built where they were at. Guys, the first 5-year wave came in, and the heavy wave, the tidal wave, the Hurricane Matthew that came through lasted 3 years. That was the first 3. The last, I'd say 18 months or so have just kind of leveled off a little bit, and not bad. I'm still making great money. Kate's still making great money. Everybody's still doing well, but we've kind of flatlined where not a lot of people are rank advancing. We did an NMD call about a week ago with Jeff Olson, and he said that the next 5-year wave is going to come through. One, it's going to last longer than the 3 years, and it's going to make our first 3 years look like we were standing still and sleeping the entire time. So for me, that got me super excited going, because I don't know direct sales. You guys know I'm a mom. I'm a singer. Like I don't do these kind of businesses, and I don't know the patterns and the path and the direction that these companies go through. I was talking with my husband about it, and he goes, what you have to realize is in business, I don't care if you've been a part of a 55-year-old company like my husband's a part of. It's been around for a very, very long time. In business, in sales, across the boards, no matter where you're a part of, there are going to be fat years and there are going to be lean years. And then there are fat months and there are lean months. I'm hoping for each and every one of us that this will be a very fat month. Not that your waistbands will grow, because God knows Elise Pink, she can't handle a centimeter added to those thighs or to her waist, which I'm totally kidding because she's a beanpole. And she's not frozen anymore. She's laughing. Good. I was worried. Don't you go eat a donut. Okay. Just go do something. Make yourself feel happy. We are coming in on a huge wave. I said this on a lot of the game plans that I did this month. I was listening to a radio interview with a Pixar corporate executive. So he works at Pixar. He's one of the higher up guys. And he said, in our company, we have created a culture, if you will, a culture of encouraging people to fail and basically saying to people, here's the thing, if you are not failing on a regular basis, you are not trying hard enough. And I think if you're wired like I'm wired, which I know a lot of us are alike, if you're wired like I'm wired, brain-wise, I steer clear of failure as hard and as fast as I possibly can because I don't like that feeling. I don't like how that makes me feel. And I don't want to feel like a failure. And this corporate exec said, no, fail. When you fail, you're trying, you're doing the do. And he said, embrace the failure. One, two things are going to happen. One, you're going to learn, darn it, which we all need to learn, you know. And then two, sorry, I'm getting all of these little texts as I'm doing it. One, you're going to learn. And two, you're closer to your yes. And I had a brand partner just today say to me, I just got to know, woohoo, I'm so excited. She goes, I'm closer to my yes. And I'm like, that's exactly it. That's exactly the mindset you have to have. When you're all in, guess what? You're going to get rejected. You're going to get no's. When you're halfway in, you could maybe get a lot of yeses. I don't want you guys to be safe. I want us to be all out there. That's the only way you're going to get to NMD. So I want to create that culture where it's okay to fail. It's okay to have that rejection. Nothing's changed. You're not going to not be able to pay your house payment because one person said no to Miriam. Keep moving forward. And then with that, as we fail, that's where we get the huge wins. There's some of you that had prospects in Japan that totally fell through and didn't happen. There's some of you that your prospects are still rocking and rolling. I know Keely, who's on, has a brand partner in Japan right now, and she's working it. She's working a girl who she's good friends with. She's actually a neighbor, and she lives in Australia. No, she's from Australia, but she lives in Japan. Cuckoo, like model gorgeous. It's nuts. These people need what we have. It's just a matter of time for you to find your person. So go fail. Go fail flat on your face, screw up royally, and then I want you to come and tell me all about it. And just know it's okay because you're closer to your yes, and that's telling yourself and it's telling me you're all in. You're doing the do. If you're doing Miriam full-time, you want 5 exposures a day. If you're doing Miriam part-time, you're doing 2 exposures a day. I know for me, I have a high after my exposures. Whether they went the way that I wanted them to go or not, I know that I did what I was supposed to do that day. Be committed to the activity and let go of any of the results. What they do with your information, most of the time, I would say 9 times out of 10, it's not instantaneous anyways. Rarely do we really know what the end-all, be-all result's going to be right away. So don't prematurely judge, was it a failure or was it a success? You planted the seed, and that's all you got to focus on. That's all I want you to focus on. Fail forward. There's a great book by John Maxwell, and it's sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. If you feel like you get a little discouraged by the not winning part, read that book. It's a great book. But just know, fail, fall flat on your face. I intend on failing daily, and I want to embrace it because I want to be a better version of myself, and I want to be a better leader for you guys. I don't ever stop pushing myself in that regard. As far as Australia goes, if you do not have rocking business right now, blooming in Australia, if you do, we are creating Zooms. One's happening right now. I did one last night. We're creating Zooms from now until the 20th of October to get prospects, your prospects on those Zooms. So utilize them. If you have any questions about who's doing what night and what the topic is and all that great stuff, their bullets is basically for recruiting. Different presenters are doing the Zooms. So let us know. Let me know if you want to know that schedule. But I don't want you guys to forget that we still are sitting on a gold mine. Anyone that knows anything about percentages, and here in the United States, let's just say maybe 1% of people in the U.S. know. And I haven't even heard that percentage. I've always heard less than 1%. Let's just say it is 1% here in the United States. So nothing's changed. We still have an amazing opportunity. We still have something that people are looking for. And it's funny, I was listening to a testimony from somebody last night on the Zoom, and she was just like, I was searching for something. She goes, I didn't know what path I wanted to take, but I knew I needed to get on a path, and I was looking for something. Here's the news flash, and here's the $1 million nugget. Someone you know is thinking about, what's the next thing that I can do that can change my life? So how you portray yourself online, as far as Facebook and putting yourself out there in text and giving people a call, you need to show them how much you love what you do and how you so believe that you are in the right place at the right time. There is something about that. There's an energy about that that's contagious, and people cannot not take a look at it. I have gotten so many brand partners and just customers because they know how passionate I am about what this is doing for people, not just for their face. That's a given, right? Because of our before and after pictures, but the results that it's giving people in their finances and their lifestyle. There is a huge wave coming. Stay put, make it happen, fail doing it, fail miserably. And I promise you, you're going to end up being better because of it. I know I'm better. I prospected somebody in the airport, and they were like, yeah, I think I've already heard of that. I've tried it, and I think their cat was allergic to it or something ridiculous like that. And I was like, oh yeah, it's good. That's all right. Yeah. It's whatever made her cat's paws fall off or something. I was like, really? Okay, next. And I moved on, and I had 2 great exposures after that. And that's when the iSerum in your purse is very, very handy. I'm at volleyball tournaments, you guys, slapping at early morning. I was 100% strategic. It was an early morning volleyball tournament. I knew every mom in the bleachers on Peyton's team was going to look like a hot mess because we were all together at the football game the night before. And I did iSerum demos, and every single one of them got 2 samples out from the iSerum demos. And they're like, they're sitting behind me. I'm like, okay, after this game, I'll come back and we'll take pictures. They're yelling at me during the match going, Tanya, it's looking better. It's looking better. And I'm like, I told you, sucker. I told you it would work. And they laugh at me because they don't even really understand me quite yet, which is good because that's most people in my life. All that to say, do not grow weary in doing good. Do not grow weary in doing your 2 a day, in doing your 3 a day, in doing your training, in wherever you're at. We had people that drove 4 hours to come to regionals on Saturday. My newest brand partner drove 4 hours from Iowa and brought the lady. I did a 3-way call with her prospect with her. And the lady left. She's like, okay, so I'm signing and I want a Lexus. We're going to leave. Before we leave Chicago, we're going to a Lexus dealership. I was after regional. So I think she may jump on board. She even bought a ton of success from Home Magazines, which I totally died laughing. She wasn't even signed up yet. So people are looking for they're looking for what we already have found. And so share it and do it with a joyful heart. The right people are going to come to you. But if you're cranky pants and defeated and feeling like a big old fat failure, that's not attractive at all. It's not attractive at all. I wouldn't even want to come and help you blow your nose during one of your sub sessions. I don't want to be a part of it. But if you're excited, you're passionate, even if you're a little bit faking it, like there's a day where you're waking up and you're really not excited about Miriam, you'd rather be selling Nexium at that point. And heartburn, it's not a pretty thing either any more than cellulitis, but whatever. It's not patented, so you don't want to sell it. I don't just know that if you get that exposure in, your energy level is going to go through the roof. You're going to feel proud of yourself. I feel great about myself when I go live and act opposite of how I feel. So if I really feel like I'm down in the dumps, I grew up in a church where they talked about living in the opposite spirit. So you wake up in the morning and you're a cranky pants and you want to pop somebody in the throat. My husband got me a t-shirt that says throat punch because that's what I'd like to do to a lot of people sometimes. And it says delicious throat punch. And it looks like it's fruit punch, throat punch, offering samples daily or something like that. It was a really cute t-shirt. There are days I wake up feeling like that. One, I know I need to get my self-development in, or I need to get my time in with Jesus. I got to get that in. And then 2, I got to act on what I know I need to do. So that's where my exposures come into play. That's where I follow up on somebody that's sampling my product, or I follow up on somebody that's thinking about the business. Get into activity mode. It's going to make you feel better and walk in the opposite spirit. And I promise you, you walk in that, you will start to turn your zeros into zeros in your checks. It will happen. It happened to me, and it will happen for you. So I'm going to let Stevens get on the call, the Zoom. She's in Hawaii. I don't want anyone to feel sorry for her. She may be a little tired, but do not feel sorry for her. I have seen all the different things that she has done and all the fun things that she has been able to see. And I don't feel sorry for her. Don't feel sorry for her. She may look a little tired because this girl vacations hard. I mean, her mama don't play. Like they're zip lining and they're going to glass beaches and they're scuba diving and they're Jesus take the wheel. So she may look a little tired, but no sympathy here. She's going to do a little bit of training through our game plans. I've noticed there's a couple things she's going to talk through the NLC points. I'm going to have to charge up my phone here because it's croaking, hence being on the phone all day. But she's going to talk through NLC points and the bag and the pen and all those great things. And then she's also going to talk through following up. She's way better at the how-tos on following up than Tanya is. So that's why I'm letting her do it. Otherwise, I just sit here and gab a little bit more about, I don't know, who knows. So Steven, do you want to take it away, sister?
Sure. Okay, first of all, I'm laughing hysterically when you're like, yeah, nobody's perfect. Because not only did I screw up my team call tonight by one number, I screwed up the Zoom that I sent to most of you by one number tonight. You guys, I just don't even care, okay? It is what it is, so whatever. So even perfectionists make mistakes. I just like to do it in twos, apparently. So whatever, most of you made it. It's fine. So it is only 3:15 here, which means my mom can drag my butt around the island for a solid 8 more hours at some point. We've done it all, like Tanya said. But I also watch Nerium U. So if you are willing to fit it in, you can fit anything in. So I have not Nerium vomited on the people on the island, but the woman who took us snorkeling has the skin of a starfish. Not cute, not pretty. And she has been a marine biologist for upwards of 30 years. And I caught her rubbing this thick white goop on her face. And I was like, what is that? And she goes, oh, I'm so embarrassed you saw me. And I was like, can I just email you later? And she goes, why? I'm like, I'll just tell you later. I didn't Nerium vomit on her, but oh my word, does she need Nerium? Like, my niece goes, Kate, you should give her Nerium. I'm like, yes, Emma, I'm on it. So I'm going to email her. The girls we ziplined with, I friended them on Facebook. Do you think I'm going to message them this week? Yes, I am. But I did not have eye serum when I was above the trees ziplining through the air. So don't freak out about how do I do an exposure when it's a weird situation. Just get their information. And then when your feet are firmly not dangling above the treetops, you can message them. So that is my plan. 2 live in Hawaii. 3 live in Hawaii. I met a family from Iowa who's now living in Oahu. Just talk to people, ask random questions, be curious. I can talk to a brick wall, so it's easy. So I'm going to talk to you really fast. NLC points, check the FAQ flyer because I don't want to bore you with details. But for October, November, December, if you get your 5 NLC points a month, plus 750 in new personal volume for those 3 months, you can choose either the Tiffany pen or the NLC Nerium luggage. Both are kind of cool. If you're like, you know what, Kate, I have pens and luggage, I don't care, then I'm going to say, hey, do you like money? Because you're going to get paid on all that volume too. And if you hate working a business for yourself, then I'm going to challenge you to look at your team and say, which of my team would really like to pay for Christmas? And who can I help do that by pushing the 750 personal volume and the 5 NLC points? Because not only will they have a little token that they earn themselves, but they're going to have a fat paycheck to help pay for Christmas. And that's really nice when you don't have debt this time of year. So just be thinking about that. It's not always about us, but your good habits and your bad habits will duplicate through your organization. So if you're like, well, I don't really care about the pen, so I'm not going to push it hard, but my team will do it. Newsflash, they will not do it unless you do it, okay? I promise. If I'm calling through my team and I hear lots of them are down about exposures, you know, my exposures aren't awesome, I look at myself and think, crap, I need to up my game. Even if I'm doing them, maybe I'm not talking about it enough so that my team knows I'm doing it, if that makes sense. So why am I talking about that with NLC? Because you won't be NLC qualified if you're not talking about your business. So that's how you get the pen or luggage is 750 in personal volume plus 5 points per month. So there is information on that. If I can find a doc that I can attach on our team page, I will do that. Okay, step 2, we have following up. So You can't follow up if you don't do exposures. And I know you're like, thanks, Captain Obvious. Like I said, I have hardly slept, so I want to make sure I'm not missing things. But one thing on Nerium University tonight, if you have not watched it yet, give yourself a deadline to catch it by Wednesday. Most everyone on this knows how to do a 3-way call, but it was the extra thing she said besides the obvious that I was like, yes, amen, hallelujah, praise the Lord. So she talked about really the whole process, not just the 3-way call, because some of you who've been in the business are like, yes, I understand that. But if you really look at the whole system, it will make that 3-way call part of the system and not a scary, jump off a cliff. So the first thing she said, which I love, number one, you guys know you always need a working list. I don't care if you've been in the business for 2 hours or if you've been in, as Tanya would say, since Jesus was in high school. If you've been in any of those time frames, you always need a working list. So for me, I'm going to add my 5 or 6 people I've talked to and made friends with. They're going to go on my list. I don't have contact information for my Army friend, but I know his name. I know that he's from Iowa, and I know he lives in Oahu with his wife, and I know all their names. I will find them on Facebook. Okay? You just have to be a private eye. So figure out who you can talk to at any time. And then I loved this that she said, when you're putting on your day cream in the morning, which I hope you're all using the products, but when you're putting on your day cream in the morning or your eye serum, think about who are the 2 people I'm going to talk to today. Because you have to sit there. I'm the one who, I have deep thoughts while I brush my teeth in the morning. So whatever your moment is, figure out who you're going to talk to and put them down or stop yourself right then and send them a message. You can't put makeup on over that day cream right immediately. So just hold your horses and send your messages. And she gave 2 really good verbiage for either product or business. I'm going to talk through them quickly, but if you don't get it written down, go watch Nerium U. If you already have, watch it again tomorrow. But then the first thing she said is you can send a message to someone and say, hey, I just got a bottle back and I thought of you. If I send it to you in the mail, would you try it for me and give me your feedback? I mean, it's a lot like Feedback Frenzy. If you don't have any bottles left, that's when you can send a video and you just say, hey, I'm not sure if you've seen my posts on Facebook, which they all have, they're watching you. And then just say, if I sent you a little bit of information, would you take a look at it and give me some feedback? That's it. Now, will some of them ignore you? Yes. Elise Pink ignored me for 4 months. Susan ignored me for 6. Who else on here ignored me? Allison ignored me for a year. Who else? Most of you, okay? And that's okay because I didn't wait for you. We kept going. And they're all here. So the people who are meant to join your team will someday hit reply, my friends, I promise. So keep going. Do not wait for them because you're going to find other diamonds along the way, but they will come back. The ones who are supposed to be a part of your organization will come. So once you've sent out your little exposures, this is what I'm supposed to talk about, but then you are going to follow up. So how long do I wait before I send a follow-up message? Now, if they have not yet replied to you, don't send them another message the next day because then you seem desperate. Okay? It's like dating. You don't want to scare them. You got to play hard to get a little bit. So once they have replied, you need to be following up within 24 to 48 hours. That's kind of your window because if you wait too much longer, they will lose interest because generally for them, Nerium is not important to them yet. They haven't found that, can't go without it. So when I saw my friend's picture on Facebook, you've all heard my story. I sent her a message. She sent me the story of Nerium in a Facebook message, which is wrong. But the right people, you can't screw up. If their heart is meant to be here, they will be here. Just try not to be a weirdo. So she sent me the information. I just said, yeah, I want to order it. And she said, well, I need you to talk to Tanya. Literally said that before the 3-way call. And I was like, what are you talking about? But I said yes, because I'm a nice friend. And after that call, I was hooked mentally, but I didn't do anything about it. I didn't go sign up that night. She kept following up every couple days. Well, hey, I'm going to be in town. You want to meet for lunch? I'm going to bring you product. Here's a video. This is going to be really cool if you sign up. She kept following up because she knew I wanted to do it, but I hadn't yet. If she would have not followed up, I would not have signed up. As much as I needed this in my life because this was a challenge for me. And I was nervous. But she kept saying, you know what, I've got you. We'll do it together. And that meant the world. So when you are taking product out to people or sending it out, have them text you or message you when they get the product if you're mailing it. Some will forget, so don't leave it in their hands. But you need to message them and say, let me know when you get it so I can give you directions. I had a woman in Florida use it for a week without water. And I sent the flyer, people, okay? And she's like, I think it's kind of hard for my face in this climate. I was like, or you need water. So she tried it again and she ordered. It's all good. But figure out a way to be in contact with them instantly. Have them take that before picture. I have a woman who was a referral I sent product to in Chicago. And I said, text me when you get product. I just want to make sure you know how to use it. I'm not going to call you or do anything weird yet. Not going to call her yet. But she messaged me and said, hey, it's going really well. I'll talk to you this weekend. Perfect. So just be in contact, but have enough posture with your business so you don't seem desperate. So just check in, see how it's going, and what you can do to help. Because sometimes they may have questions like, why is it making me break out? Wouldn't you rather know that on day 2 instead of day 7? So you can say, you know what, that's actually totally normal. It's going to the deepest layer of your skin and pulling out impurities. If you're willing to keep using it, it should dry up pretty quickly. When you have that unshakable steadiness, they're going to go, oh my gosh, yes, they will keep using it. Okay, so check in with them, because if little objections happen, then we can help with that. If it's business, if they've been to market parties and they've tried product and whatever else, you just need to keep dripping with the tools. So I think I've talked to some of you about this, and I'm trying to be fast. When you're dropping off product to someone, or if you're going to do an eye demo, I know Tanya likes to stay busy like I do, so I'm willing to offer up her help as well as mine. But if you're taking product to someone, when I got started with this business, you guys, I didn't know anything other than get my bottles out and use 3-way calls. Okay? That's all I knew how to do. And the first 3-way call I did, the girl signed up. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do a 3-way call anytime someone will sit still. That was my plan. So I did RRPs, but I would take product to people's houses and I would text them the Nerium Sizzle video. Okay, product or experience, doesn't matter, but a 2-minute video. I would text it and say, watch this, I'm on my way to your house. Okay, that's easy, right? Then I would get to their house and say, did you watch the video? And if they didn't, I'd make them watch it really quickly. Now, granted, I was just crazy excited. They didn't have a choice, okay? I realize I'm like a hurricane sometimes as well, and they handled it. They were okay. But I had them make sure they had seen something. And then I said, before I leave my product here, I want to make sure you know about the company so that you know what you're using on your skin. But since I just got started, I'm going to have my friend Tanya talk to you really fast. Super successful. She gets to be a stay-at-home mom, and she makes amazing money with this. So she knows a lot more than I do. So I didn't say like she's a 2-star NMD. They don't know what that means. I just said she's amazing, and I said she's so funny. Hold on a minute. And I would put her on speakerphone. And I would laugh at her jokes. I mean, I still do, but I would laugh like it was like, oh my gosh, best day of my life. She's the best, because you set the tone for that sit down. If you sit there like you're heading into your annual exam and you're nervous, your prospect will be completely freaked out. Okay. So you need to take a deep breath and be calm. You need to be interactive if there's a call. So I would put her on speaker. And then when she hung up, I would say, okay, now you know what it is. I would explain how to use it. And then I would say, oh my gosh, I can't wait until I can stay home. Just slide it in there. You can read from people if they're excited about the opportunity, if you pay attention. And if I had friends who were like, I don't know, I might want to do this, I would say, awesome, start making your list while you sample. And if you're still excited, I'm going to check in about 2 days. And if you're ready, I'll help you get started. That's it. And that was just a drop off. And then they had to think about it for 7 days. They had to think about my face every day that they used the product. So I got probably, my first month I had 0 brand partners because I did 0 3-way calls. My second month I did all 3-way calls and I had 4 brand partners. So that wasn't that I'm anything amazing. It's just that I knew what I wanted out of this. And Tanya and Lisa Fitzgerald and Tennille said, you have to do it this way. And so I said, okay. So if you realize that the 3-way call is not about you and it's about getting your prospects the information and taking you out of the equation, it'll be a lot better. So my husband and I have a very funny relationship. We're both very opinionated. Okay. So we don't argue, but kind of argue. Okay. It's just how it is. We got a lot of fire in this marriage. So I always think I'm right. He always thinks he's right. So if we're out in public and we're arguing about something, I'm always one who will be like, well, here, I'm going to ask this guy what he thinks. Okay. So if I ask this random guy and he agrees with me, I'm like, oh yeah, he could be who knows who, but if he agrees with me, that's who wins, right? Third party. Your friends don't care if you put them on the phone with the president of the United States or if you put them on the phone with somebody different. Them hearing it from someone else makes it comfortable for them. They need to know somebody other than you has their back. And I know that sounds crazy. You're all amazing people. But I don't think I would have signed up with Ginny, the girl who shared it with me. But when I knew Tanya was there to help, I felt so much better about making a decision like that because 2 people had my back, not 1. And I don't care how incredible each of you are. The people who are near and dear to you know you as not a skincare expert. And they need to know that you have one of us who has success as well as your success to get them there. It's the weirdest thing. It's especially for those of you in business, you're like, but why? I know this. I know, I can't explain it, but I'm telling you, it works if you let us help you. So use 3-way calls as your follow-up, but please make sure they've seen something. Because if we spend 45 minutes, it says I'm unstable. If we spend 45 minutes on the phone with them, they're going to think they won't have time for this business. So let them see something and then put them on the phone with us if there's that right time. If you need help transitioning that, we will help you. Anything else? Okay.
Okay, here's the other thing that I want to, sorry, I was charging my phone in the bathroom. Not, it's a large bathroom. Don't worry, it wasn't weird. So some of you have seen my bathroom. You know, it's not weird. It's literally the size of our first apartment. Like it's insane. Hold on, I'm turning on some lights out here. One thing I want to say to you, on Saturday when I did the training in Chicago, I talked a lot about leaning in. And I'm going to give you guys something that I thought through a little bit further after the regional was over that I didn't share on Saturday. And I basically explained leaning in, meaning I wanted them to pay attention, lean in. You need to lean into Nerium University. You need to lean in to the system. 3-way calls, bottles out, 2 exposures a day. Working with your upline, I honestly have people in my organization who I feel are completely amazing. And the reason why they're not where they want to be yet is because they refuse to be attached to my hip. And not that you have to know what I eat for every meal and I have to know, what kind of gum you chew, but they don't want to rely on anybody else. It's impossible for you to be successful here if you refuse to rely on anybody. Now, once you get to Lexus, you don't want to rely, that's okay, because you're running your own organization, but you have to rely long enough so that you get where you want to be. Otherwise, let's say somebody underneath you jumps on board. Okay, let's use Kate as an example. So Kate jumps on board in my organization, and I don't even know how many levels down Kate is from me. I don't look at any of that, and I don't look at any of that because will hinder me from wanting to help certain people or not certain people. So I don't even look. I only get paid so many levels deep. But let's say Kate jumps on board. She's got her master's degree. She's taught for 13 years. She's a sharp cookie. She's a very type A personality with a ton of energy. God knows. And if I would not have been investing into myself and into my own business by developing my own self as a leader, Kate easily could have, because I would have been capped, because I wasn't growing as a leader, I could only get so far. Kate could have, and honestly still can, blow right by me. And there was only so much I'm able to do for Kate. Only so much I'm able to do. Now, if Kate's not beyond my leadership level, guess what? Kate's not going anywhere either, which is why Kate needs to be investing in Kate. Who you become in this journey is very, very important. That will determine, hear me on this. I'm not blowing smoke. I don't blow smoke. I don't even like to smoke. I sound like I smoke, but I don't smoke. Who you are and the level of leader that you are is the size of a team that you're going to be able to have. You'll never be able to exceed the level of an organization from the level of a leader that you are, if that makes sense. So that's why we're always growing, because I want 3-star. I want 5-star. I want international. Why not? If Anna Kim can do it, sweet niblets, I can do it. Why not? And so from there, lean into the system, lean into your upline, lean into your team, lean in, meet them where they're at. I'm working on it myself because sometimes I get impatient, you guys, and I forget I need to lean in. I'm going to take it one step further. Lean into your people that are in your Class A prospects, the people that are in your funnel. Lean in. You don't have to listen to someone very long to hear what their heart truly wants and desires. Maybe it's skincare, maybe it's wrinkles, maybe it's cellulite, maybe it's whatever, maybe it's a spouse. We can only do so much, you know what I'm saying? However, there are single guys in the area. I mean, we could do some hooking up. But lean into your Class A funnel. Lean in, figure out why they need what we have, and then build a bridge. I talked on Saturday too. Don't compare, connect. You isolate yourself. So if Christy Rivera, I call her Christini Rivini, if she compared herself to Neil Weber's story and her rank and her whatever, her journey with Nerium and her business, all Christini is doing is isolating herself and making herself feel small and alone. When we connect, we get better together. I'm a better leader because of Kate Stevens. I'm a better leader because of Brittany. I'm a better leader because of Tennille and Carrie and Jess and Noelle. Todd, we've all connected. We're better together. And I don't want to get in the way. So let's say maybe I'm a little cross, heaven forbid, at one of them at one point in time. Let's say Todd does something to royally just tick me off, which could never happen, you guys. It could never happen. But let's just say he did do something. I made a vow to myself after Dallas that I was not going to allow my crankiness or my issues with anyone to stand in the way of your guys' success. Your success matters more to me than my comfort. So I'm willing to be uncomfortable and work with people that I may be cranky with. I'm willing to do that for your success. We're better together. And that's where you guys don't isolate yourself and compare one another, but you connect. You get together. You get a workout buddy. We can kick butt better together than we can like Kate's on the island of Hawaii in Kauai all by herself. Well, she's an army of one at that point. Well, I mean, that's not a big deal. But when she gets to Iowa, into cute little Gilbert, that one little subdivision that has a gajillion Lexuses, it's a little crazy. I'm not going to lie. And a little awkward. But all that to say, that's powerful. We're better together. Same thing in Davenport. Same in Rockford, Illinois. No matter where you're at, we're better together. We're stronger together. So utilize this team. Let's connect. Let's build bridges. And let's get people where they want to get by leaning in. Lean into your workout partner. Lean into your upline. Lean into the system. Please do 3-way calls. If you haven't listened to Nerium U, for the love of Peter, watch it because it's good. Here's the other thing too. I was reminded. Our compensation, I'm going to tell you this. I know of a lady that's in Isagenix. She's been in Isagenix for 18 months and has 22,000 people underneath her. She barely makes $10,000 a month. 22,000 people. Our compensation plan, the fact that all you have to do is get 5 points a month and purchase an $80 bottle of night cream a month is insanity that you get paid out that kind of money. Because you guys, if I had 22,000 people underneath me, my team's only 5 or 6. If I had 22,000 people underneath me, I easily am making about 14, 15 grand a week. That's our compensation versus hers. And these other companies, like you'll hear at Nerium U, most companies make you sell a certain dollar amount over and beyond what comes in every month, your residual. So an extra $2,500. Do you know how many parties you guys would have to pull out of your earlobes to pull out $2,500 in new customers a month? work like everything is riding on this, because guess what? It is. Everything's riding on it. I don't know anyone on this call in this 90-day run that has a better plan B than Miriam. So lean into your prospects, lean into your upline. Christina Ravini is an amazing leader, but dang it, if she doesn't use me, I'm going to strangle a girl. I'm going to strangle a girl as much as I love her, because guess what? I want her why to happen. I want it to come into fruition. I'm willing to get my feelings, my comfort out of the way to lean in, to work with whoever we need to work with to get you wherever you got to get. Utilize that, because there are a lot of leaders in Miriam that will not humble themselves to work with any Joe Schmo. Their feelings are right here. Mine aren't. I've laid it down. I've laid down. I even flew to Chicago. Y'all know I hate flying. Thank you, Dr. Mike, for medicine. But I mean, I'll do whatever I've got to do, but you've got to use us. You've got to use us. Lean in. Hashtag. I can't get my other hand up here, but hashtag lean in. You guys have a great, thanks, Stevens. Just did it from me, from Kauai, jerk. Anyways, so all that to say, you guys are amazing. Kate, do you want to say anything else?
No, I think just what I said before. Keep your mouth open. Figure out who you can lean in with when you're watching everything. Find that buddy who you can message and say, here's what I loved about Miriam U, because maybe it'll help you stay on track. Do your exposures. Put us to work.
Somebody just texted me. I won't say who it is, but their plan B was for their husband to become an exotic dancer. So just know your plan Bs really aren't good. They're really, because I know her husband. I happen to be related to him. He's not good. Like, he would be a terrible exotic dancer and would not make any money. So that would be a terrible plan B. I'm not saying anybody's saying, but he is my brother. Just figure that one out. So have a great week. Call me. Blow me up. Call me. I mean, you can do interpretive dances. I will encourage you in that interpretive dance. Stevens, get home safe. All y'all, peace. Hashtag lean in. See ya, suckers.
Bye, guys.